Hello, and welcome to my 5-minute FUMIHIKO TAKABA deck breakdown. This card is a proxy alt art version of Gar of the Magic Strings that I made using Card Conjurer. For folks that haven't watched the anime Jujutsu Kaisen, this is FUMIHIKO TAKABA. TAKABA is a sorcerer with the innate technique Comedian. Imagine being able to conjure literally anything you can think of, survive any injury, but your sense of humor is that of your coworker sending you dated 9gag memes. That's TAKABA in a nutshell. In the show, TAKABA is taking dynamite to the face, can dropkick special grade sorcerers, and is completely mind-boggling peeps with the most merry melodies, Looney Tunes shenanigans this side of One Piece. Now, how do we build this guy? Controversial take incoming. I'm a law-abiding puppet guy. I make legal decks on this channel, so we're not going to be using the Unfinity, Unset, Unhinged cards that are banned from Commander. While some of you in the comment section at this point will say, oh wow, Konkuro, making a funny hee-hee-ha-ha deck without the funny cards? What's up with that? To that I say, I like having friends that will play Magic with me. These Unset cards are funny on paper. In practice, oh well, yeah. Let's take out our calculator, guys, and rack up this fractional damage. I gotta play this card, but first I need to phone a friend. Guys, can you help me cut out these stickers? Even though how unfunny these cards are totally fits TAKABA, I want you guys to pull out this deck without a lengthy Rule Zero conversation. So with that being said, hi, I'm a gigantic hypocrite because I got a legal Unfinity card as my commander. Introducing Magar of the Magic Strings. This is a 3-mana Rakdos Minotaur performer with the ability, note the name of a target instant or sorcery in my graveyard and put it on the battlefield face down. It's a 3/3 creature with, whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you may create a copy of the card with the noted name. You may cast a copy without paying its mana cost, and if the creature would leave the battlefield, exile it. What are we doing with this card? Well, you'll see. I think the funniest legal way to represent the zany, comedic, reality-bending antics of TAKABA is to beat up my opponents with comedy. Yes, you heard it right, folks. I researched how to make this work for days and came across cards that are funny in terms of a punny name, funny card artwork, or funny flavor text. And surprise, surprise, all of these cards are also instants and sorceries. This deck's purpose is to discard or play my punny cards throughout the early and mid game. Then come late game, when I have the mana, I can play TAKABA and animate my jokey jokes to lay Part 5 JoJo beatdowns on my opponents. Here's a little rundown of some of the cards I'll be throwing at my opponent. Circuit Sacks. You get it, right? It's a circus, but they're robots, like circuits. Okay, tough crowd. How about Ghouls Night Out? See, it's like Girls Night Out, but it's ghouls because zombies. Electrocute because it's electrocute, but what if it's an There's around 25 of these funny sorcery instants in this deck. We'll be putting them in our graveyard with cards like Ripples of Undeath, the Underworld Cookbook, and Collector's Vault. Nullbrooch is a really cool find. This is a 4-mana artifact that lets me discard my hand and tap for 2 in order to counter any non-creature spell. Cards like Monument to Endurance, Hazardous Monument, and Nihilistic Glee replenishes my hand to discard some more. Glee especially is nice as I can chain its Hellbent costs multiple times my hand is empty to draw in exchange for 2 life a card. The discard red staples like Big Score, Unexpected Windfall, and Thrill Possibility is going to let me amass treasure in the early game. They can also be animated with TAKABA, allowing me to swing at my opponents to get more card draws off. Now that we've established all that, let's talk about the payoff. The puns we animated with TAKABA are only 3/3 creatures that will be exiled if destroyed. We need to support them by getting them swinging as soon as they land. Cards like Rising of the Day, Anger in our graveyard, and Enduring Courage will do just that. The second thing we need to do is ensure that these cards can go through my opponent's defenses. We have a few ways to do it here. Roshan Hidden Magister gives all face-down creatures menace, which the puns are when animated. Ubrask the Hidden can give my puns haste and provides the pseudo-authority of the console's effect on my opponent's creatures, having them tap when entering the field. The riskiest option, Bedlam removes blocking from the equation for all creatures. Now, let's say some of my puns smack my opponent. What can we do with this? Whenever the opponent takes damage from a pun, the underlying sorcery will be cast for no mana. This goes wild with cards like Ashling Flame Dancer, who can easily get to the 3rd rotation of their ability, giving us tons of red mana that stays with us as phases end. Black Waltz number 3 and Torwaki the Younger will deal damage whenever we cast these free puns, which can build up pretty fast. Smoldering Stagecoach is an X5 vehicle whose power is equal to the number of instants and sorcery cards in my graveyard graveyard. When this card attacks, it gives me Cascade for 2 spells, an instant and a sorcery. But the biggest payoff has to be these recurring puns. Afterlife from the Loam and Ghoul's Night Out. These cards can rob my opponents of their powerful creatures and have them play for my team as big zombies. We can cheat these cards out as creatures with Takaba for only 3 Rakdos mana, and on swing really end the game with style. So, do you think this deck captures the essence of Takaba? Are there any cards you think would be better suited to make this deck work more effectively? Let me know. Also, thank you for watching this video. The next breakdown is going to cover Denji from Chainsaw Man. Stay tuned, more to come.